So I declare the July Ordinary Council meeting open at 5 p.m. and welcome all of our councillors, staff and all the members sitting in the gallery. Welcome everybody. Members of the public are advised that recommendations to Council contained within this agenda can be subject to change. Applicants and other interested parties should refrain from taking any action until written advice is received confirming Council's decision with respect to any particular issue. Any statement or insinuation of approval regarding any planning or development application made during an ordinary council meeting is not to be taken as notice of approval. Anyone who has an application lodged with the Shire must obtain and should only rely on written confirmation of the outcome of the application and any conditions attached to the decision made by Council. Council members and the community are reminded that should an exemption resolution be passed, this has the effect of making the decision to accept the officer's recommendation stated in the agenda as the Council's decision without change. An audio and visual record will be made by means of live streaming of these proceedings and uploaded to the Shire's YouTube page for viewing. Acknowledgement of country. The Shire of Harvey acknowledges the traditional custodians of the land and their continuing connection to the land, waters and community. We pay our respects to all members of the Aboriginal communities and their cultures and to elders and emerging elders, both past and present. Procedural motion, I put forth the following: that Council suspend Standing Orders Part 8, Clause 8.5. Members to indicate their intention to speak and to rise when speaking, to allow members to remain seated when speaking, to improve the quality of the audio recording of the meeting. Do I have a seconder for that? Councillor Holly. I'll put that one to the vote. All those in favour? Carried. Thank you. Record of apologies and leave of absence. I have nil for both. It's great to see all councillors here today. I'll move on to 3, which is applications for leave of absence. Do I have any applications? Councillor Capagrego.
Thanks, Madam President. Yeah, I'd like to apply for leave commencing the 8th of August through to the 30th of September.
Inclusive? Yep.
Inclusive, thank you, yes.
Thank you. Do I have a mover for that? Councillor Bromham. A seconder? Councillor Junio. Likely to be any discussion about Councillor Capagrego going on leave? No, I'll put that one to the vote. All those in favour? Carried. Thank you. Declarations of members and officers' personal interest. We have received a few already. Councillors and or staff, are there any others for the meeting? No? Thank you. Questions by members of which due notice has been given is nil. Response to previous questions taken on notice is nil. Public question time. No questions is nil. Petitions, deputations and presentations. We have a Mr. Gary Flavel. I hope I've pronounced that correctly, Gary. Welcome, and he would like to come and provide a deputation in regards to the development at Lot 401 Forest Highway. Welcome, Mr. Flavel, and come forward, please. Yes. Tamara, can we just turn on that microphone, please? Thank you. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Madam President, councillors and staff. My name is Gary Flavel and I live in Warburton Street, Meadow Landing, and in company with 2 other members, Ian and Dennis, we've come just to announce that we are forming the Meadow Landing River Ridge Ratepayers Group as a result of having received the application by the developer regarding Lot 401 Forest Highway, Rowlands, and we're having a meeting this Sunday. We're only just a pilot. I'm a herder, trying to get people together. But on Sunday, we're having a meeting at 11 a.m. in what we call the Warburton Street Reserve to hear the feedback from our residents. We expect a number of 130 to 150 with there's 12 apologies thus far. And I invite each and every councillor, if they wish, to attend. They'll not, if they're allowed, but they're not allowed, we won't be asking them to speak, but it may provide you good folks with an opportunity to listen to the feedback that we're getting. And once we've elected our committee, we propose to come back to the Shire with pretty solid proposals with regards to development. We received, initially, we received a mail out to part of the estate. It was a bit of a ruckus. The staff obliged by mailing out everyone, and that's been done. We've done a letterbox drop to each and every resident, and of course there's Facebook, but not everyone's on Facebook. And what we propose to do is listen to what the people want with their submissions, which are due in by the 14th of August. I do ask a little bit of latitude there if there are any stragglers in the submissions from the staff, that due to the school holidays and the mail out not going to everyone, we're asking that, you know, in the week afterwards, if there's any straggling applications coming in. I hope there's not, but we have a tsunami of support, and we just want to come back to you via the submissions and meeting with planning and what have you as we go forward, to say, look, this is what you're up against, or this is what the residents don't want. I think we've covered. Yep. I don't want to bore you. It's short, sharp, and non-political.
Thank you, Mr. Favell, and well done for stepping up and taking that initiative on behalf of your community. You just asked the question about the time difference in regards to receiving the applications, or, yeah, is that an issue, Mr. Putnam?
No, if council are accepting of that, we can extend the submissions period. It's a minimum time frame, not a maximum.
Yes. Oh, okay. Thank you. No, there's no problems, and as I'm sure that then when we get the group, you won't have your staff answering 25 calls from different people asking much the same question. We want to channel it. We're blessed with some very good talent on the subdivision, and if any of the submissions have come in, you'll see they're of quality, and we'll stand by the rules and say this is exactly what and why we oppose it.
And Mr. Favell, Sunday's timing again for that
11 a.m.
11 a.m.
And if it's inclement, which who knows, my number is, I'm the one that lives next door to the reserve at number 5. I've got a shed and a large carport, and we'll cram them into there with, but advising everyone to bring umbrellas.
Okay, thank you very much for your deputation today.
Thanks for your time, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, do I have any others? No, thank you. I'll move on to 9, which is announcements by presiding member or the CEO without discussion. And I do have a couple that I'd like to acknowledge. July has been an extremely busy month for council. So on the 29th of June, Councillor Bromham and myself attended the changeover event for the Lions Club of Harvey. And I'd like to acknowledge the fantastic work of Mrs. Anita Hughes, the previous president, who has stood down as the president but will be remaining on the committee, and congratulate Mr. Colin Beauchamp, AMB JP, as the incoming president, and also acknowledge the other lines that accepted committee positions, many of which have resumed their previous roles. So, like many other of our local community groups, the volunteer numbers are decreasing, and it's difficult filling those committee positions, so well done to those. On the 9th of July, I attended the Brunswick Red Cross annual general meeting, was delighted to be asked to award and recognise several Brunswick Red Cross members with service awards. And I'd like to congratulate and acknowledge Mrs. Emma Papalier for 20 years service, Mrs. Norma Booth for 48 years service, and to Mrs. Judy Talbot, OAM, for 60 years service to the Brunswick Red Cross. So that's a total of 128 years of accumulated years of service. So well done. On the 13th of July, I attended the Rugby WA NAIDOC Sevens tournament held at our Leschenault Leisure Centre over that weekend. There was about 50 teams attending, ranging or travelling from the metro area as far as Albany in the south. So they all had a fantastic time, and there were some really positive comments about our facilities at the Leschenault Leisure Centre, and they're looking forward to coming back bigger and better next year. So, CEO, if you can just pass on our thanks to the work done by the team to get the LLC grounds up and running for that particular tournament. On the 18th of July, myself and a number of other councillors attended the formal opening, the long-awaited formal opening of the Harvey Connect, and that was also attended by Minister Dawson. So I thank all councillors and staff that supported this long-awaited event, and it was fantastic to see that it's now formally open and up and running. And of course then on the 19th of July, myself and the CEO attended the Welga Local Government Awards. And can I once again pass on our congratulations to Councillor Wendy Dickinson and ex-councillor the Honourable Michelle Boyland, MLC, on receiving the Merit Award in recognition for their service to local government. So congratulations to those two recipients. And finally, I'd just like to acknowledge that this is Mr. Dale Putland's last ordinary council meeting with us as the actor of Director Sustainable Development. So thank you, Mr. Putland, and we can expect to see Mr. Patrick Hughes in the hot seat at the next ordinary council meeting. And once again, welcome Mr. Kevin Ketterer, the Acting Director of Infrastructure, well, the acting Director of Infrastructure Services, if that's such a role. So welcome, Kevin. CEO, yes.
Yes. Also, in addition to Councillor Wendy Dickinson and former Councillor the Honourable Michelle Boylan, MLC, who received the Merit Awards at the Wolga event on Saturday night, I also wanted to acknowledge our Manager of Environmental Health Services, Sarah Sabiri. She received the Rhonda Harvey Women of Excellence Award. Sarah is incredibly deserving of this award, exemplifying the qualities of Rhonda Hardy as a strong and determined leader, demonstrated not only by her former role as a councillor at the City of Canning, but now leading our environmental health team at the Shire of Harvey, and we're very lucky to have her. So congratulations to Sarah.
Thank you, CEO. Alrighty, on that note, we'll move into confirmation of minutes. So we have the ordinary council meeting held on Tuesday, the 24th of June 2025. I have a recommendation here that the minutes be confirmed as a true and correct record. Do I have a mover for that, please, councillors? Councillor Bromham. A seconder? Councillor Carboni. Thank you. Likely to be any discussion? If not, I'll put this one to the vote. All those in favour? Carried. 10-0. Also, the minutes of the special ordinary council meeting held on Tuesday, the 15th of July. I have a recommendation here that they be confirmed as a true and correct record. Do I have a mover for that? Councillor Holly, thank you. A seconder? Councillor Capagrego. Any discussion, councillors? I'll put that one to the vote. All those in favour? Carried. Thank you. 10 nil. All right, the last one is the receipt of the minutes and recommendations from the committee for the audit committee held on Tuesday, the 15th of July. I have a recommendation here that they be accepted as printed. Do I have a mover for that? Thank you, Councillor Coleman. A seconder? Councillor Hitchcock. Any discussion? If not, I'll put that one to the vote. All those in favour? Carried 10 nil. Thank you. We'll move into the officers' reports, and I have a exemption resolution motion here. So with the exception, councillors, of item 12.1.1, which requires an absolute majority, 12.1.2, which is subject to some administration changes, 12.1.4, which Councillor Bromham has declared an impartiality interest in, 12.3.1, which is subject to an amendment, and 12.4.1, which is the annual budget. Are there any other motions or items that councillors would like to have withdrawn? No? So I move then that the items that have not been withdrawn will be passed on block. I've moved that. Do I have a seconder for that? Councillor Bromham. Any discussion, councillors? Any questions? Councillor Hitchcock, are you right? You're fine? Okay then, we'll put that one to the vote. All those in favour? Carried 10 nil. Thank you. We'll move now into the officers' reports. Item 12.1.1, which is the Shire of Harvey Council Plan 2025 to 2035. This requires an absolute majority, councillors. We've got an officer's recommendation here. Do I have a mover for this? Councillor Carboni, thank you. Councillor Bromham seconding. Councillor Carboni, did you wish to speak to the council plan? Okay, then Councillor Bromham.
Ditto.
Are there any other comments, questions, councillors? I would just like to acknowledge the efforts of the CEO and staff in putting together our first council plan, and I acknowledge that this is the draft going out for community consultation, however, or comment, but a considerable amount of effort has been put in by staff and a lot of consultation with the community as well. So I thank you to the community that's had their input and acknowledge the efforts of staff putting together our first council plan. So if there's no further discussion, we'll put this one to the vote. All those in favour? Carried 10 nil with absolute majority. Thank you. I now move on to item 12.1.2, which is the service plans 2025 to 2026. We've got an officer's recommendation here. Do I have a mover for the service plans, please? Councillor Bromham, thank you. A seconder, Councillor Capagrego. Thank you. Councillor Bromham, did you wish to speak to the service plans?
Yeah, I'd just like to thank staff for all the work they've put into this. It's obviously a very detailed document, and you can see from that, you know, the amount of effort that's gone into producing a document that provides really handy information to the community.
Councillor Capagrego?
No comment, Madam President.
Okay. Are there any other questions or comments, councillors? Before putting this to the vote, once again, it's already been touched on, but thank you to the CEO and staff for their efforts in developing these service plans, and they will certainly help councillors moving forward on the level of service required to deliver the services to the community, and will definitely be a very unique service plan or planning document for councillors moving forward. So thank you very much, staff, for and I know that there were many hours put in to develop these, and it's a great starting point for councillors and staff alike. So if there's no further comment, I'll put this one to the vote. All those in favour? Against? One against. Thank you. Carried 9-1. Thank you. 12.1.3 is covered by the exemption resolution. 12.1.4, which is the Corporate Business Plan 24-25 Quarterly Report for Quarter 4. We've got an officer's recommendation here. Do I have a mover for this one, please? Councillor Dickinson, thank you. A seconder? Councillor Hitchcock, thank you. Councillor Dickinson? Councillor Hitchcock? Any discussion, councillors? I'll put this one to the vote. All those in favour? Carried 10-0. Thank you, councillors. Item 12.1.5 has been carried en bloc. Infrastructure services is nil. We will now move into sustainable development, item 12.3.1. Proposed naming of the Public Open Space Reserve 54790 at Meadow Views Estate, Harvey. We have an officer's recommendation here. Do I have a mover? Councillor Holly. A seconder? Councillor Junio. I would like to move an amendment to this item that's up on the screen, which is just a part 4 to the officer's recommendation, that is requesting the CEO to present a list of names for pre-approval for the naming of parks and roads within the Shire of Harvey. It's a simple addition to the officer's recommendation. So I'm happy, well, I'm moving that. Do I have a seconder for this? Councillor Holly, thank you.
Can I ask a question?
In regards to this amendment, yes, Councillor Caboni.
So does this list of pre-approved names have any bearing on the naming of this park?
No, it won't. No. So this will, as it says
So
there,
it really doesn't relate to this motion then?
it is requesting the CEO to come provide council with a list of approved names for future use.
Well, I thought these things are judged on their merits. So this is a merit-based application, if you like. So if anyone wants to have a park named after them, or if someone wants to put forward a name, I thought we judge it on a case-by-case basis.
Mr. Putland, do you want to respond to that?
Yes, through the chair. There is already a list of pre-approved names. The reason that this particular name has come to council is it's not on the list. It's been put forward by the developer. I suppose the list hasn't been updated for a little while. If it had been, potentially this name would have been on that list. But yeah, so it's while it doesn't have any bearing on this park, it does have a bearing on naming of future parks, and it would be nice to have that list, if you like, updated. I'm not arguing for or against the motion, but I'm just explaining that this is the process we use.
All right, are there any further questions, councillors? Okay, I'll put this amendment to the vote. All those in favour? Carried 10-0. Thank you. That now becomes part of the substantive. Councillor Holly, you are the mover now for the substantive. Would you like to speak to it? Thank you.
Yes, I think the developer should be commended for what he's done here in in renaming the park. The late Mr. Salasano was a tremendous fellow in the community. He did a lot. As a fellow JP, I have worked with him on the board, on the bench at the different times, and a few other things. And I really think in this day and age that we're in, it's good to see a local, out of a local area, be recognised in such a great way. So I really commend it.
Thank you, councillor Holly. Councillor Junio, sorry, would you like to speak?
Nothing. I think Councillor Hawley has said it very quite well, so thank you.
Okay, are there any speakers against the motion? Any speakers for the motion? Okay, noting that this is going out for public consultation, so council will receive a further report once it's come back from public consultation. All right, having said that, we'll put this one to the vote. Councillors, all those in favour? Carried 10-0. Thank you. All right, we'll move on to corporate services, item 12.4.1, which is the annual budget for 25-26. And we'll work through this one slowly, councillors, because there are 9 officers' recommendations that we will work through. So we'll start with officers' recommendation 1 of 9, which requires an absolute majority. Do I have a mover for this one? Councillor Holly, thank you. A seconder? Councillor Crispin. Thank you. Is there likely to be any discussion around this one? No, I'll put it to the vote. All those in favour? Carried by absolute majority. Thank you, councillors. We'll move to officers' recommendation 2 of 9, requiring an absolute majority. Do I have a mover for this one, councillors? Sorry, I missed that. Councillor Bromham, thank you. Do I have a seconder? Councillor Crispin. Councillor Bromham, did you wish to speak?
No, it's fine.
Councillor Crispin? Happy? Any discussion, councillors? Okay, I'll put this one to the vote. All those in favour? Carried 10-0, absolute majority. Thank you, councillors. I'll move on to recommendation 3 of 9, requiring an absolute majority. Do I have a mover for this, councillors? Councillor Crispin, thank you. A seconder? Councillor Bromham. Thank you. Councillor Crispin, did you wish to speak?
Just slightly. The amount of work which is obviously done behind the scenes of this one, it's great to finally see coming to the vote. So everything that has been done, there's a lot of information what goes out between councillors and officers and everything like that to come up with the exact figures. But I believe everything that's in there is for the best of the future. So I'm grateful for it.
Thank you. Councillor Bromham?
Yeah, I'd just like to comment. I thought the work was really good behind the scenes and the workshop that everyone put a lot of time into. Also, I think it's so important for the community to understand that if we don't rate correctly, we simply send that cost into the future for our children to pay. So I think it's a great thing that as a community, if we stuck together, we've had no bad comments on this budget, and that we're actually making sure that we're doing the right thing now for future generations.
Thank you. Any other speakers, councillors? No. Once again, I'd like to thank the staff for their efforts in the workshops and for the councillors as well. There is a lot of work that goes into making sure that we concur with the draft budget. And as Councillor Bromham said, I do understand that we are in difficult times across the board, but we still have a requirement to plan and build for the future. So this will enable that to occur and for us to see some of those really key projects that have been sitting on the bench for a while to come to fruition. So I thank councillors, and in particular I thank staff for their efforts in putting this budget together. So without further ado, we'll put this one to the vote, councillors. All those in favour? Carried 10-0 by absolute majority. Thank you, councillors. Okay, officers' recommendation 4 of 9, also requiring an absolute majority. Do I have a mover for this one, councillors? Councillor Carboni, thank you. A seconder? Councillor Capagrego. Councillor Carboni, did you wish to speak? Councillor Capagrego? No? Any discussion, councillors? No, we'll put this one to the vote. All those in favour? Carried 10-0, absolute majority. Thank you. Officers' recommendation 5 of 9, also requiring an absolute majority. Do I have a mover for this one, councillors? Councillor Dickinson, thank you. A seconder? Councillor Hitchcock, thank you. Councillor Dickinson, did you wish to speak? Councillor Hitchcock? Any discussion, councillors? I'll put it to the vote. All those in favour? Carried 10-0, absolute majority. Thank you. Getting through them, councillors. Officers' recommendation 6 of 9, requiring an absolute majority. Do I have a mover, councillors, for this one? Councillor Bromham, thank you. A seconder? Councillor Dickinson? Thank you. Councillor Bromham, did you wish to speak?
Only to say basically what I said before, this is a cost of getting rid of our waste. And unfortunately, we all produce far too much of it these days. And yeah, I think at least we're making sure that we're doing the right thing by making this decision.
Thank you. Councillor Dickinson?
No, I would just like to concur with Councillor Bromham that, you know, this is one of the major areas that local government deals in, and unfortunately it is also a major cost, and we do need to recoup that in some way through our charges. So I'm approving this. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Dickinson. Is there any other speakers for or against, councillors? No, I'll put this one to the vote, requiring absolute majority. All those in favour? Carried 10-0, absolute majority. Thank you, councillors. We are getting there. Officers' recommendation 7 of 9. Do we have a mover for this one, please, councillors? Councillor Dickinson, thank you. A seconder? Councillor Crispin, thank you. Councillor Dickinson, did you wish to speak? No. Councillor Crispin? Any discussion, councillors? Councillor Coleman?
Madam President, I'm actually a pensioner, so can I declare an interest in that particular item, please, if I need to? Thank you.
Oh, well, I think there might be a couple around the chambers. The CEO advises that we don't. Thank you for your honesty. And we don't need to declare interest. Thank you, Councillor Coleman, and all those others that put their hand up. All right, we've got a mover by Councillor Dickinson, a second, Councillor Crispin. If there's no further discussion, I'll put this one to the vote. All those in favour? Carried 10-0. Thank you. Officer's recommendation for 8 of 9. Do I have a mover for this one? Councillor Dickinson, thank you. Seconder? Councillor Junio, thank you, Councillor Junio. Is there any discussion, Councillor Dickinson? Councillor Junio, all good? Any discussion, councillors? Put this one to the vote. All those in favour? Carried 10-0. Thank you. Whew, and the last one. We have an officer's recommendation for 9 of 9. Do we have a mover for this one, please, councillors? Councillor Bromham, thank you. The seconder, councillor Junio. Councillor Bronwyn, you wish to speak? No. Councillor Junio? No. Any discussion, councillors? Put this final one to the vote. All those in favour? Carried. 10-0. Well done, councillors. Thank you very much for that. Item 12.4.2 is dealt with by en bloc, same as item 12.4.3 is en bloc. 12.5.1 has been withdrawn. Item 12.5.2 is en bloc. We will now move to elected members' motions, of which previous notice has been given. So we have Councillor Hitchcock's notice of motion. I'm gathering she's moving it. So do we have a seconder for this? Councillor Bromham. Thank you, Councillor Bromham. Councillor Hitchcock, over to you.
Thank you. This is probably the most someone will speak in this meeting. So, cycling is not only an activity that is suited to people of all ages, it's also a sustainable, healthy and popular way to travel. These repair stations feature a range of basic maintenance tools such as bike pumps, spanners, Allen keys and screwdrivers. They can be fitted with tools to repair bicycles, skateboards, scooters and e-scooters. Bike repair stations within our Shire would complement the Shire's efforts around sustainability initiatives and may also be a valuable addition to our more comprehensive projects such as the Ridley Place foreshore development and as a tie-in to the Munda Biddy Spur, which is a bike trail that has recently been allocated funding in the state budget. Outside consultation is not required to deliver this report. Shire staff are capable of conducting a market scan to determine what is available. They also have the local demographics and tourism statistics to make an informed decision about optimal locations for these within the Shire. As for potential arguments that this is not included in the council plan, I would suggest that there are many items not included in the current council plan simply because community council or Shire staff are not aware of them at present. I did not know about bike repair stations until a recent trip to Busselton where I saw one being put to use. My understanding is the council plan is a living document, which means it can be updated and amended as projects are completed or new items are brought forward by members of the community, councillors or Shire staff in the following years. In saying that, the council plan clearly showed that members of the community place footpaths, trails and cycleways as a high priority. In my research for this motion, I noted that several local governments have been successful in obtaining grant funding for the supply and installation of these bike repair stations. And in order for our Shire to consider searching for grant funding opportunities, we must first understand what types of bike repair stations are available, what would suit our constituents and where bike repair stations might be best suited to be installed within our Shire, and that's where this report comes in. Therefore, I urge councillors to support this motion.
Thank you, Councillor Hitchcock. Councillor Bromham, seconder. Did you wish to speak?
Only to say, look, thank you, Councillor Hitchcock, for bringing this to my attention. I've never come across this before your holiday to Busselton. Even though you haven't travelled far, you actually found something good. We had George Martin here earlier today, who's 89. He rides a bike every morning along the National Estuary, and I think he would be absolutely over the moon if there was something along there to help him to repair his bike occasionally, especially every now and then he runs into someone and falls off, you know, so at 89 he's not doing too bad. Look, it's a great thing, I think, it also promotes such a healthy outcome for our community and allows them to go out there and use our cycleways. I think that's a fantastic thing, so well done, and I support your motion.
All right, any further discussion, councillors, on this one? Okay, we'll put this one to the vote. All those in favour? Carried. 10-0. Well done, Councillor Hitchcock. Councillor Caboni, here we go with your notice of motion. All righty. Do we have a seconder for this one? Councillor Capagrego.
Do you mind if I can just provide some additional information?
Yeah. Yes, the CEO's got some additional information, Councillor Caboni, before I come to you. Thank you.
Councillor Carboni, I know that when you placed this notice of motion, you had asked for updated statistics in regards to attendance from the public at meetings. So we looked at 23-24 for agenda briefing session. There was 30. And for this financial year, it was actually August to July, is 24. And then the ordinary council meeting for the same period, 54 from the public and 63 this financial year. Sorry, it's not a financial year, it's August to July, sorry. Boosted by 6 in the gallery tonight, so thank you.
Councillor Carboni.
Thanks, Madam President. When I moved the motion just over 12 months ago to move to 5 o'clock start times, I did say at the time, let's do it for 12 months and trial it and see how it goes. In that time, I haven't seen much change in the gallery. Numbers have just been said what they have been. And as we spoke about at the last council meeting about tying up council staff after hours when we were talking about the Australia Day celebrations and tying up council staff into time which is not normal work time. So I note the officer's comments here that they're in support of moving it back to 4 o'clock and streamlining concept forums with the agenda briefings and that. So I think it's probably best now that it goes back to 4 o'clock. Obviously some of our meetings have gone as long as 7 o'clock at night. It's a very long day when you start at 12 or 1 o'clock in the afternoon. It's a very long day for us, meeting after meeting. Even the media, we're tying the media up to all hours of the night if we want them to come to our council meetings. And I don't think anyone here today from the gallery that came here, I don't think 4 o'clock would have made much difference rather than 5 o'clock because they're pretty passionate about the issues that they're here to represent. So I'll leave it at that.
Thank you, Councillor Carboni. Councillor Capagrego.
Yeah, thanks, Madam President. I concur with Councillor Carboni's words there. I think that bringing the meeting to 4 o'clock might actually encourage more people to come to the gallery and see what happens in the chambers. And I think it might also be a better timing for people who are viewing online, where, you know, when families with children at 5 o'clock, I think it'd be pretty hectic in the family, you know, getting kids ready, one thing or another for dinner, etc. But 4 o'clock, they might be able to have it running in the background and actually look at what we do here. So I think the move to 4 o'clock is a positive thing in many ways. And also, as Councillor Carboni has spoken on already, it's, you know, taking notice that staff are here from the day. And I think by the time they get to 5 o'clock in the afternoon, they're probably ready to go home as well. So I think we'll be doing everyone a favour and it'll be a good move for the Shire. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Capagrego. Any speakers against this question, Councillor Coleman?
Thanks, Madam President. So previously, when we started the meetings earlier, for councillors, it often meant a whole day in council. So does this necessarily mean that all of our current meetings, concept forums, presentations, workshops, etc., will also start earlier, so mid-morning almost? I note of recent times we've started around about 12:30. Still a long day. I appreciate what Councillor Carboni said, but does that also impose that we need to be here earlier in the day for all of the meetings that sort of backlog onto that?
Now, I note that, and I suppose it's always, when I first came on council, I was told Tuesdays are council day, so be prepared to start at whatever time in order to fit in those briefings or workshops or whatever that we need to fit in. So those timings will start, I would suggest those start timings will change depending on what's on the agenda. Did you want to add anything, CEO, in regards to that? Yeah, so there is a possibility, Councillor Coleman and councillors, that the day may start a bit earlier, but we will try and make it similar to what we've got running now. All righty. Any other questions or comments, councillors? Councillor Carboni, did you want to finish up on anything? All righty, we'll put this one to the vote then, councillors. All those in favour? Carried 10-0. Thank you. All right, notice of motions for the following meeting. Are there any? Councillor Holly.
Going to be one with CEO.
The CEO has got one.
Yes, I've noted your approval of that notice of motion, and that will be included in the August agenda.
Thank you, Councillor Holly. Reports of members. Are there any reports from any of the councillors? Nil. New business of an urgent nature introduced by decision of meeting is nil. We now need to move behind closed doors. So do I have a mover for that? Councillor Holly, thank you. Seconder, Councillor Junio. All those in favour? Carried 10-0. Thank you, members of the gallery. We will now be moving behind closed doors. Thank you for attending. Voted on that one, didn't I? Yes. Okay, welcome back from behind closed doors, and I can say that we've awarded tender T042025 Design and Construct the Leschenault Bush Fire Brigade Building to Smith Constructions, WA, for the tendered price of $1,280,000, excluding GST. Okay, if there's no more further business, thank you councillors and staff, and I declare this meeting closed at 5:49. Thank you everyone for attending. Thank